Hello everyone, Captain Vapors here for another episode. Are you a ProTank owner? Are you sick of the vapor quality you get out of your ProTank? And are you sick of spending money every time you need new coils for your ProTank? Well, today's your day because I'm going to show you how to rebuild your Kanger ProTank coils. This morning I was motivated to rebuild something, and I didn't want to rebuild my iGo W or anything like that. I wanted to rebuild my Kanger ProTank coils, mainly because when I do want to vape my ProTank, I don't want to keep spending money on coils, and I want to get a better vape out. These coils that I get manufactured, I'm not very pleased with how they're built, so I wanted to dive down and rebuild my own so I can get my own personalized vape out of these coil heads. So today, that's what I'll be doing. I'll be breaking this all down, showing you how to rebuild these Kanger ProTank or EVOD coils. Now, to break down these Kanger ProTank coils, what you'll do is you grab the chimney up here and you'll wiggle and pull. And you'll feel it separate. Some of you might need a pair of pliers here, but I pulled mine right apart so the chimney's separated from the base here. And if you look in there, that's where your coil unit is. Let's see if I can get my camera to focus on that. Right in there. You can barely see it right in there. But that's where your coil unit lies. And what you'll do here is you'll flip it over here to the base. You'll see that. And that's where your grommet and your metal insert there is. So you pull your metal insert out. And then you got your rubber grommet there. And what you'll have to do here is put these other pieces aside somewhere nice and safe. And this part's a little bit hard, so what I'll do here is I'll get my needle nose pliers right in there, right where the grommet is, just the grommet itself, and wiggle and pull, wiggle until it's out, right there. The rubber grommet, and you take the coil unit there, the old one, and throw it aside. Take your rubber grommet and your other pieces here. Put these also aside somewhere where they're safe and you won't lose them. Next, get yourself about 6 inches of Kanthal here. And as I said, get yourself a smaller gauge, like a micro coil sized screwdriver head there. And for this, I like to make about, I'd say, within 7 to 8 wraps here. So taking the one lead and folding it over here. I'll see if I can wrap it here on camera for you guys. Pull 1, 2, 3. Sometimes I lose grip on that one lead. And I usually undo the first lead, so I do an extra wrap. 5, 6. Like that. Now, take a look here. Fix out your coils. If one's uneven, fix it up. I'll pull it like that. Perfect. Alright, and then you're going to clip your one lead, so one shorter than the other. Put the extra Kanthal aside. And then you pull your coil unit here off, that I just made, very small. Get yourself your pair of needle nose pliers. Put it in between them. And firm enough so it's firm, not too firm so they're overlapping. And get your blowtorch here. Let's see if I can. And blowtorch it all until it's red hot for about 10 seconds. Nice and red hot, nice and red hot. Now, I didn't blowtorch it previously to get the springiness out of it. Sometimes I don't, just because I just blowtorch it here at the end and it never really gives me too much of a problem. But blow it out so it's not as hot. Set it aside. Put the blowtorch back here. And then you get your screwdriver back again here. After your coil cools down, you'll take it. Put it right through. And I like to even out my lead, so when I put it through there, it's a little bit tight quarters in the ProTank base here. So take your ProTank base, where your air slots are here on the side, where your wicks go through. You can see that nice. And what you'll do basically is, you'll put both leads through the bottom base there. And I like to hold both leads nice and firm, so your screwdriver lays nice and flat, so you can fix it up here a little bit, nice and flat, just like that, so you know your coil's going to lay nice and even. Next, you grab your grommet, and this is a little bit more of the hard part, and it's going to be harder for me to do on camera. It's trying to put this grommet in. Now let's do it here on camera, Matt. And this is the important part, knowing where each the leads go. So you put the larger lead through like that, if you can see there, and you can see the other leads off this side. And there's a wider side to the grommet and there's a thinner side. So you put the thinner side down, so your grommet goes in like that, and you push the one other lead aside. Mama's calling. And then you push it down until it's nice and firm in there. And this is the part where you kind of even up your coil here and pull the tension out. And I like to use these needle nose pliers to pull the leads so they're nice and firm. Nice and firm. And then you can go back in there and fix it up. And now secondly, you take your bottom pin, you can see it there, your very bottom pin that goes right on the bottom where your grommet is, and you push the other lead that went through the other grommet in there, you see that? Pushed it out so that it's going through the grommet, through the center there, and gets pushed out. And then you put the pin in like this, so your lead is in between the pin and the rubber grommet, not coming out the inside of the pin, and you push it in. And this is when you can pull your screwdriver lead out and get your pliers here and tighten up your leads just a little bit. You know, so they're nice and firm, not too tight, you don't want to unravel your coil. And then go back in here with your screwdriver and then fix it all up. Check the ohms resistance, all that good. So there you go. Let's see if you can see it in there. It's nice 8-wrap micro coil up in there. And next, I'm going to show you how to wick it and show you the ohms reading. Next, you want to clip your leads so they're nice and clean. I used a pair of nail clippers to get them nice and close. And then finally here, you're going to put your chimney back on the top to cover up. Like that. And what I like to do is I take my MVP version 2, which reads ohms, and I already have my ProTank base in there, as you can see. And I'll screw this coil unit in. And the reason why I do this is to check my ohms reading and to see if I'm basically on with my ohms. So let's check together. 1.5, I'm dead on. So 8 wraps with this gauge is dead on. That's what I have in my last coil that I just wrapped there. So I'm going to fire her up for you guys and show you how she glows. Alright, look at that, guys. Look at that. From the center out, stays nice and hot. So as you can see, these coils vape very nice in these ProTank units. Now that I know the ohms reading of this coil, what I'll do here is I'll take my piece of cotton here that I already have pre-ready, and what I'll simply do is I'll put the cotton through the coils here. And after I have it pulled through and I can grab the cotton from the other side, I'll spin it, as always. Spin. And as I always say before, don't put too much cotton into the center, because then it could, you know, not wick as well as if you leave it nice and loose like this. So you can see there, I have the coil nice and wicked. And what I'll do is I'll put the chimney on, close her up, and I usually like to use scissors. Spin it right back through here, and you can still do it with the chimney on here. Spin them. It might be a little easier, actually, I'm finding. So you always learn. Every day you're learning something new here with rebuilds or whatever. So I'll take my pair of nail clippers, and I'll get in nice and close here, and I'll clip the wicks. Bam, you got yourself a ProTank coil there. So what I'll do here is I'll put it back here in my unit, screw it down, and I always like to double check my ohms resistance. 1.6 now. See, as I said before, it might bump up a resistance, a 0.1 ohms resistance or so. So take this off. Leave my thing off. Put it in my ProTank here. Screw her on down nice and tight. And then I'm going to let her wick up for 10 minutes, so I'll be back, guys. Now that she's all wicked up and ready to go, I have her in my VTR, and she's reading 1.7. It keeps bumping up in ohms resistance. Before it was reading 1.2, my apologies, and then it bumped up to 1.6. I couldn't see because it's kind of mirrored from me filming here. So I'm going to give her a vape and see how she vapes. Amazing vapor. Better flavor than the manufactured coils, in my opinion. Now, the reason why I made this video today is to share the wealth about how great it is to rebuild these coils. And if hopefully you use my method, you'll get a really good result. Now, I was vaping on the manufactured coils this morning, and I was unsatisfied with them. I kept getting wicking problems, I was getting dry hits. With adding cotton to the inside of this, you know, the boiled cotton, it really makes for a really good vape. And especially the micro coil in there, about a 7-8 wrap will read about, as I say, 1.6, it's bumping 1.7 now. Must be some little factor in there. But extremely good vape, and I gotta say, it makes me love the ProTank much more, and it makes me use it much more. So, I mean, if it's a slight variation you can do to any type of tank and I'll make you vape it more, I mean, you're getting your money out of it, for sure. So, I hope you enjoyed this video today. I hope you learned now, if you have a ProTank, that you can rebuild these coils, and they vape just as good or 2 times better than just the manufactured coils. So, thank you for joining me. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on this video, and vape on, guys!